Good morning, St. Louis. It is 7 a.m. on a Tuesday, so y'all know what time it is. It is time for the St. Louis Hustle Podcast with your boy CORTEZ Hustle, my girl Michelle A. And today we got some more fire lined up for you. We got a special entrepreneur coming to hang out with us today. She's going to tell us how she got started, how it's going, and she got some advice for you if you are thinking about stepping into that entrepreneurial fire. And I said that on purpose because entrepreneurship is warfare, people. So it ain't for the slight of heart. So I need for y'all to do me a huge favor. Comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business and or your brand. Smash that share button, ladies and gentlemen. And let's kick it this morning.
Growing up in St. Louis has never been easy. And most say, if you want to succeed here, that you must leave and put down roots somewhere else because of the strong crabs in a barrel mentality here.
I don't know if I'm just an optimistic person, but to see people like Chuck Berry and Nelly make it in the music industry, or the Roberts brothers and Dave Stewart in business, or William Lacey Clay Jr. in politics, can we blame the city, or is it that people just aren't hungry enough?
We're talking to all of the movers and shakers in this town, from entertainers to politicians, social activists and organizers, and of course, entrepreneurs.
Is there a curse on this city that holds people back? Is there an unseen hand that decides who makes it and who doesn't? You're about to find out.
Welcome to St. Louis Hustle.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the St. Louis Hustle Podcast. I'm your boy CORTEZ Hustle. That's my girl Michelle A. And again, today we've got a very special guest that we're going to introduce to you guys. Charis Johnson is coming to hang out with us. She is the founder of Precious Picnics, a luxury picnic extravaganza, and she plans these wonderful events and excursions. So you guys want to sit tight. But before we bring her out, I guess I want to shout out our sponsor. Where are we coming from today? We are coming from the Black Biz Success App Studios right here in St. Louis, Missouri. That's right. If you are a business and you are looking to optimize your online presence, increase your lead flow, and grow your revenue, go to blackbizsuccess.com. We have all the online marketing tools and resources for you to do just that. So, Chalet, how was your weekend, sis?
Woo! Boy, let me tell you something, sir. My weekend was off the chain. My weekend started Thursday. So most of you guys know that I attend Influence Church. Shout out to my pastors, Pastor Darnell and Rochelle West. And this week we had our women's conference this weekend. And I had the pleasure of working the conference as well as attending. And it was phenomenal. It was our so we have a women's ministry, and it's called Girlfriends, right? So we, like most churches, we try to put the women together and get them to grow and do all kinds of wonderful things. And so this was the annual Girlfriends Conference, and the theme was covered about how God has us covered. There's a scripture, and silly me didn't have it prepared. It's from Psalms, though, about how God has us covered under his wings. And so they had some dynamic speakers in town this weekend. Gosh darn it, they had Hope Carpenter, which is, if you're familiar in, I guess, the pastoral world or online ministry world, Ron Carpenter's wife. They had a young lady, Christine Martin. She has a church her and her husband have a church out of Detroit, Motor City Church. And then there was a Dr. Charles, and I forget the church she was affiliated with. But this conference really addressed all things women. And the part that stuck out for me is they addressed the mind and how something we talk about a lot on the show CORTEZ, which is trauma and dealing with trauma. And they talked about how the mind processes trauma and the different parts of the mind that store certain things or release certain things or keep you from remembering. And man, oh man, it was so deep. I did come away with a word. One thing I will say, I'm going to say this because I'm going to save the rest for my word of the day. But Christine Martin, a dynamic speaker. I had never seen her before. Man, beautiful lady. Like I said, out of Detroit, little bitty blonde lady and beautiful woman. And when I say she a powerhouse, when I say she just, at one point, she's a prophetess as well. And she just At one point she'd be preaching, and then all of a sudden she just come out of preaching and go find somebody randomly in the audience and just start speaking over them and be like, what just happened? Then at one point they wound her up, they just let her go. And when I say she starts stepping over, she's like, I ain't got time to walk all the way around this church. She just started walking the pews. She just started stepping over the seats and walking and just laying hands on women, and folks was falling in seats and falling on. It was something. And she even had a word for myself. I'd never seen her a day in my life. She came down and just was looking, and boom, you come here. Yeah, you with the hair. Okay, yeah. I guess that's me. And it was amazing. She confirmed some things that was going on and just confirmed, and it just was, I'm excited for the word of the day. So, but my weekend was that. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it was awesome. So, I'm wore out. The church nap yesterday was the best church nap ever. It was epic.
Gotcha.
So
I can relate.
Man, what about you and Sugar? What y'all do?
Well, we didn't have a whole lot going on as a unified couple. She went out and took my great niece, who's been hanging out with us a lot. She's 11 months, and I think she took her to Build-A-Bear, and they kind of did some fun stuff. And fun. I myself personally launched a new product this weekend, the automated leads machine. So come on, you know, that's how I do. When she's away, I go to work because I gotta go get this bag, right? Somebody gotta, you know how much it costs to build a bear? Well, it don't cost that much to build a bear, but you know what they get you? You gotta buy clothes and accessories for the bear.
You can't walk around with a naked bear. Like, that's against the law.
Listen, we grew up with naked bears. What do you mean?
Don't play, because even Yogi had a vest. Don't do that. Yogi had a vest in the hat.
No, we had naked bears, and there was nothing wrong with a naked bear. And she had to pay to have her voice put in the bear, so she speaks to my niece through the bear, and her voice, like, it's crazy. It was a lot of stuff. So I had to release a new product in order to pay for the bear and the bear's clothes. So that's what I did this weekend. If you need more leads in your business, we have artificial intelligence that can go out and find the leads that are qualified and ideal for your business, and we'll start the conversation with them. We'll put your special offer in front of them. Our system does all the automation, the emails, the text messages, all of that stuff. And when they come out of that other side and they're ready to talk to you, then we'll actually book them on your calendar. So all you got to do is worry about is closing the deal. So that's what we launched this weekend. It's called Automated Leads Machine for small, especially service-based businesses in the B2B space. It's an amazing tool that really is helping our community compete with national brands. So I'm excited about that. And as per usual, I was working this weekend. That's just how it goes down.
Hey, it's what we expect.
All right, so we've got a very special guest. Before we get to the A word of the day, we're actually going to bring on our special guest, Charis Johnson. Man, she's put together an amazing business, and I want her to be able to tell us all about it. So, Charis, my friend, welcome to the St. Louis Hustle Podcast. How are you, sis?
Thank you for having me. I'm good. How are you?
We are extremely well, and always excited to talk to other entrepreneurs, but especially those who are jumping into what I call unique businesses that are, I can see this as a budding industry altogether, what you're doing. So I can't wait to dive into this conversation with you. But before we do that, Michelle does something every episode called the Michelle A Word of the Day, where she's going to bring a word from on high most of the time, but sometimes she brings the word from on low, Charis.
It could come from the middle. It could come from the middle.
Since she just came from the women's conference, I'm expecting this one to be a word from on high. So let's get into the Michelle A Word of the Day.
And now the Michelle I Word of the Day.
Hey, what is up, everybody? It's your girl, Michelle A, coming at you with another Michelle A Word of the Day. Listen, I am so excited. I was telling you guys a little bit at the top of the hour about my weekend and how we had our annual women's conference girlfriends covered event, main event was this past weekend. We had some dynamic speakers, and the Lord is so awesome and faithful. He had a word for me. I just showed up to serve, and man, I got swept up in the spirit of everything, and God had something for me too, and that was so exciting. So the word I'm gonna drop with you guys for today is ladies, about finding your inner warrior, right? So short version, you know, I'm in the healing line. I love a good healing line because I got a lot of stuff going on and you just never know. I want my healing, okay? So I always hop in the healing line if I know I got something going on. I hopped in the line and the lady did the traditional yama shama lama ding dong, laid hands on everybody. And she laid hands on me and she was about to walk away, but she stepped back and she whispered in my ear, "You're a warrior." And then she moved on. And that just sat with me and it resonated. And some other events happened during the weekend, but it caused me to want to go study upon women in the Bible who are warriors, you know, God's warrior women. And it caused me to begin an exhaustive Bible study about those women that God used in those extraordinary situations. They were everyday, ordinary women, and God saw fit to use them, right? To win wars and to solve problems and to rescue lands and all kinds of stuff. So I'm just going to leave with you guys the story of Deborah. As soon as I get back on the right page, I'm supposed to be on. The story of Deborah, right? So in brief, Deborah was a judge. She was a prophet. You can also find the story of Deborah in Judges 4, chapters 4 and 5. So take a moment, ladies, read up on it yourself. But Deborah was a judge and she was a prophet. And, you know, God called her to go to the captain of the army of the Israelites and you know, remind him that God had sent him into battle to go and fight the general in his army of the Canaanites. And the man didn't want to go. He said, ma'am, not having that today. He said, I'm not going to fight them unless you go with me. And Deborah saw an opportunity. She stepped up and she went into war. And they were able to take the war and they were able to win the war. So what played with my mind was, why would this man not go? Because God sent him. Why did he need a woman to go with him? Well, quite frankly, he needed the woman because that woman supplied encouragement. She supplied nurturing to him. She reminded him of the word of the Lord that was called to him originally from God. She kept him reminded of that, and he did get the victory. Okay. Now the story is much more exhaustive. I want to pull my point out of it is, ladies, sometimes we are called to encourage men. Sometimes it is hard if it's your man or a man that you're called to, your husband, etc. Sometimes they won't go without us. Now it doesn't mean that we do it for them, but it just means that maybe we're supposed to be along that journey to encourage them, to keep them uplifted, to supply what God has called us to supply while they are in battle. So before you reject the journey, pray about it. Ask what thus saith the Lord, ladies, and see if he's trying to make a Deborah out of you. So that's it. Think about it. Again, become a warrior woman for God, ladies. And that is my Michelle A word of the day. Boom.
Boom. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Charis, do you want to chime in on that word of the day, warrior woman? What?
I like that. I think as women, we are known to be strong.
Yes.
And I think it's important that we all find our inner warrior. That
Absolutely.
Inner warrior can help you get through some things in your life.
Yeah.
You know, if it's your job or if your family life. So we all have to find that, because that can keep you motivated and, you know, resilient, basically, to keep moving. So it's definitely, you know, helpful to also just, you know, to pray about your situation as well, to get that extra guidance.
Absolutely.
But warrior women have that warrior in them. They was born with
it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sometimes it's for us directly. Sometimes it's for other people. I think that's what I learned, because I was always one of those women who's like, you want me to do what now? God told you to go do that. You better go on now. But just in seeing that bigger picture, the role she played in that particular mission, the battle would not have been won without her. Yeah. Just being and doing, you know, being who she was called to be. So boom. Thanks for chiming in.
And I'm going to shout out Madam Viola Davis, man. If y'all have not yet gone to see Woman King, go see it. You talking about an inner warrior. You talk about motivation, you talk about encouragement, you talk about uplifting, you talk about strength, power, wisdom, and all of the above wrapped up in one powerful woman who led a whole troop of other powerful women. It's an amazing story. Go see it, because especially as women, if y'all want to see more women leading movies and being able to tell more stories that are for you and about you, then you got to support a movie like this. They actually funded and created this movie themselves, her and her husband. So they had to back the whole thing. And one of the things they kept saying is Black women, especially darker skinned Black women, can't lead a box office. And 19 million first weekend, #1 in the box office. So let's keep going to see it.
I love her.
And continue to show support so that it's easier for the next sister to come along and say, I got a story to tell. Let's get it greenlit in Hollywood as well. So Woman King was an outstanding movie.
Wow.
I probably cried 6 different times throughout the
Wow,
movie.
because you'll share it. Thanks.
That's just how I do. I go to movies to cry.
Just to let it out.
Every time.
Just to let it out.
My sugar sits back and she tries to identify which parts are going to get me. Right. But it was some unusual parts in this one that got me. But y'all need to go see it. It's dope. So anyway, we got a special guest here today. We're not going to ramble on. Charis, I ask everybody who comes on the St. Louis Hustle Podcast this one question. I'm going to ask it to you. And the question is this. Who the heck are you?
Well, I am Charis or Charis. I get it both ways. So I'm Johnson. I am born and raised St. Louis. Grew up in Kirkwood. Graduated from Kirkwood High. And, I guess my life has been challenging over the years. But I am really into just, I love to see people be successful and find themselves and make that success. And I like to encourage that among, all, especially among, Black women. And as being a parent to 3 kids with pre-adults, I have going on to get on my nerve, but pre-adults, they just being a positive, role model to them, and then see them grow up and kind of see your life challenges and how they watch me grow in them. So it all comes full circle with that.
Love it, love it, love it. So, I want to get into, the background, right? Kirkwood, raised. Talk about young Charis. Let's go elementary, middle school, high school. What was life like for you?
So I can say attending Kirkwood was a plus because I was able to go to school with people who didn't look like me. And I believe, and I can say at that time, maybe I was too young or naive. I didn't see different things we see today, like as racism, basically. And, growing up in Kirkwood and going to school with other people, other races, it just taught me to be more rounded. And it helped me later in life now, like in my career, going to work. So developing those relationships definitely taught me how to move forward. That's something that I wanted also for my children, was to be able to go to school, just in different environment, different races, because you learn from that. You learn the good and you learn the bad. Gotcha. But it's just at the end, how do you take it and how do you make it yours and move forward?
So
I always I always wanted to be I guess so when I was younger, I wanted to be a model. And I didn't have you're in St. Louis, you just know how to move that. And my mom was like, I don't know about you being a model. But I think that was something that I wanted to do because I wanted to get out of St. Louis, explore more, basically. And that didn't happen for me at that time. But now as I get older, I'm able to do that. So those are the kind of things I like, just pass along to other people, to go with your dreams and explore. Because that's how you learn, basically.
Gotcha. And do you harbor any feelings of regret or any angst towards mom for not just jumping on board and making it happen for you? Because I know sometimes I remember playing ball and as a young kid, I eventually got to play ball in high school and stuff like that. But I remember prior to that, we just didn't have it to play little league sports and all of that kind of stuff. You know, I'm fourth born of 6 children, raised on welfare. So I'm gonna have a couple $100 for me to go get a football uniform and play and do some of those things. So did you have, what was it, any ill feelings towards mom? Like, man, you trying, like my son said, you trying to hold me, Pa? Was your mom trying to hold you back then? Or did you just kind of understand what it was?
I think for her, it was more of a protection of me, but also maybe she didn't know how to help me.
Yeah.
Since, you know, since being here in St. Louis. But we always, it's like a joke now, you know, with things like the Victoria's Secret model show comes on TV. I always say, turn on the TV, you'll see me on there. And my mom was like, well, honey, that was a long time ago. You're not that thin no more. But I do look back at that. I think I took that as a lesson. And with my kids, as they came to me with their goals, I like went and supported them all the way and just kind of figure out how, you know, how to do it, because I didn't have that, basically.
Gotcha. Michelle, did you want to jump in?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like,
I was like, yeah. No, I could identify. And I think that may be not just a St. Louis thing, but maybe a mom. I'm not sure how old your mom is, but I know my mom was a little older, and you know, I had aspirations as a child. You know, similar. I wanted to be an actress, and she, similar to you, she was like, well, I don't know about that. How about a teacher or a nurse? And I'm like, that was such a 380. And it was the same thing. It was the same thing. She wanted to protect me. You know, they didn't, you know, we saw people of color, and this is in the 80s, late 70s, 80s. We saw people of color on TV, but you didn't see a whole lot of plus size mamas out there. And so my mom had tried her hand at entertainment, doing singing, etc. And she was a chunky gal, and she didn't want me to kind of face some of those things that she faced. So she tried to talk me out of it. And I did the same thing you did with my daughters. Whatever they said they wanted to do, let's go do it. Yeah. It's just about finding out how and not allowing our fears to kind of spill over on them. So, exactly. Yeah. Kudos for you for getting on out there, though.
Gotcha. So you got through Kirkwood High School. Did you do the college thing? What was that road into young adulthood like for you?
So no, I didn't do the college thing. I wish I would have, looking back, because I feel like in my career I was in healthcare, and I felt like I couldn't move unless I had that degree. And a lot of times you go to fill out application, if it asks do you have a bachelor's, you say no, you can't go any further. And you know, I felt like it was a hindrance to me, because I know I have the skills, I know I have the passion, but I could never get in there because I didn't have this degree. And looking back on it, I wish that I had went to school to get that degree at a younger age, when I didn't have all the responsibilities. So now, you know, I'm older now, and I just got my bachelor's degree in 2020.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Like, hey, that's nothing to sneeze at.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah,
in the middle of a pandemic.
Right in the middle. When I had my graduation, we couldn't even have it. It was online.
Oh no.
So that taught me, because with my kids coming out of high school, I was like, college, you're going, you know, straight from high school, because you don't have the responsibilities. You have me, I got your back, basically. And I can say with my son, I knew college wasn't for him. It was more of him fulfilling his dream to play basketball in college. He did a year. He came back home, he's working. But my 2 daughters are, my oldest daughter just graduated from Mizzou this past year. So I just encourage them. Like, I'm telling them, like, look, take advantage of what you have. You have a mom that's supporting you, that didn't do it when she was younger. I did it, you know, older. I'm working, doing homework, on a train, on a plane. I was getting it done. So that's my spiel. I just think that if you have the opportunity, you know, do it when you're younger. And then college is not for everybody. Then you have to find another means to fulfill your dreams too.
I'm the same way. I tell everybody I officially checked out of college after the second week. I officially dropped out, though, after the second semester. And I did I sent 4 out of my 5 sons, right? Baby boy wasn't having it. He kind of got to a place where he was a senior right when the pandemic kicked off, and found out that they said, well, because of the pandemic, whatever your grade is right now, it can't go down, but it can go up. And he looked and saw that he was passing everything at the time. He was like, oh, shoot, I ain't got to do nothing for the rest of the year.
Right.
So we knew that I wasn't going to waste my money sending that joker to college, because he's like, no, he was done with school.
Yeah.
But I really do like that I did get to experience it. And I think there is so much more to the college experience that can be useful and beneficial beyond the degree.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you literally get to meet people from all around the world.
Yeah.
Like that's something to take advantage of as well. So I still have one in school right now at Rockhurst in Kansas City. So, but yeah, it's I think take advantage of those opportunities. And when I sent them all, I said, man, listen, you have an opportunity. Like whether you finish your degree or not, you never know who you might meet. You might meet a business partner. You might meet a love interest. Like just soak it all in. Don't waste my money, but at the same time, take advantage of everything that's available to you. So
Cortez was that day that said, "Bring back my change."
Right. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Like, yeah, they got them loan checks and them refunds and stuff. Run me that. Run me that.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be paying this loan back. Run me that. That ain't
Yes.
yours.
Paying that loan back and buying books.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I am excited to say that the one who is in school now is on a full ride for basketball. Like he walked on the team last year before last, and this year they blessed him with a full ride scholarship.
That's
so
great.
Super excited about that.
Yes.
So I might have some books to pay for, but that's popcorn and peanut money compared to that $50K that I would be paying if he wasn't on scholarship. So, but you got through that. What was first job like for you? You know, how did that whole thing work? Let me ask you this. No. How was first job? What was that like?
You know, my first job, I was a crew person at McDonald's.
Okay.
And do you know, I worked at McDonald's for over 17 years. I moved, I worked my way up. Eventually, at some point in there, I wanted to be a owner of a McDonald's. But I worked my way up, and I worked even in the past, I want to say 6 years, you know, with kids in school. If I needed to make some extra money for books or whatever, I had the privilege to still pick up a shift and work extra. Everybody was laughing at me and said, "Oh, you're so pretty and bougie, but you're gonna work at McDonald's." I'm like, I have no shame in my game. There's some people at McDonald's that make more than people who work in the corporate world as well. But McDonald's was it grew me. I learned so much from working at McDonald's, you know, handling the money, customer service, different processes. So in the end, it all comes from working for McDonald's. I can definitely say that. And I grew with that. And actually all my kids actually experienced working at McDonald's as well. But it was my first job, and I tell you now, if I had to do it, I would do it again, no problem.
Yeah. And I think one of the things people don't see, because we got this disease that I care too much about, what people think, itis, and we don't understand. Like I told my sons, if y'all are smart, most people don't realize that you can go from crew member to owner of one of these franchises in 10 to 12 years. If you go in with that as the mindset. I don't know if that's how you went in. I know after a while you started thinking, well, you know what, I can own one of these joints. But if you go in thinking, okay, 6 months assistant manager, another 6 months I'm manager, another 2 years I'm managing 1 or 2 stores, 5 years in I'm a district manager. Year 6 through 7, 8, 9, I'm at Hamburger University getting my they have a roadmap to ownership in all of these franchises, but we get into them in a lot of cases. It's like, oh, soon as one of your homeboys or your homegirls come through the drive-through and you got the little thing on, now you feel away.
Now, way to keep it real, Cortez. You breaks it all the way down. You see your homeboy drive-through. Can I get some extra fries, though? Because But you know what? I agree, and I applaud you. I have another friend, and she did the exact same thing. She used that to her benefit, you know, because I think environments like that, you know, despise not your humble beginnings, but environments like that can be growing grounds, you know, and it sounds like it did exactly what you allowed it to do within you, you know. And it grew you and set the pace for where you are now.
Exactly,
That's
it did.
awesome.
And you, Cortez, you mentioned Hamburg University. Like I did that. People will say, "Oh, what? McDonald's has a university?" You know, but it's so. I just learned so much from that.
Yeah,
it was great.
It's amazing. Opportunities are out here for us, y'all. We got to get it, and that's why the St. Louis Hustle Podcast exists, because I want to make entrepreneurship, the idea of owning a business, as mainstream as college, right? Nothing wrong with college. We know that college ain't for everybody. We know that everybody can get something from college if they decide to go. But I could say, man, I'm going to college and I'm gonna study underwater basket weaving. And oh yeah, baby, that's amazing. Yeah, congratulations. I can't make no doggone money weaving baskets underwater, but because it's got college attached to it, everybody is celebrating. Right? I could say, I'm gonna start a business. I developed this cure for cancer, and I think it's gonna change the world, but I gotta be an entrepreneur to do it. Well, I don't know about that, baby. You talk about entrepreneurship, that's kind of risky. And I really want us to take a different look at entrepreneurship and ownership. So that's why we bring guests like you on to talk about your entrepreneurial journey. So that's where we're going next. Talk about doing your thing, raising your kids, going back to school, getting a degree, got kids in school, and all of a sudden you've got this inkling to start a business. Walk us through the thought process and the internal transformation that started to happen in you that says, you know what, I want to give entrepreneurship a try.
Sure. So I think I learned when I was younger, in having, I was, married and having kids, always have more than one income coming in and have something for yourself, especially being a woman, like having something for yourself. I remember I got married young. I was married like I was 20. And I remember I was, just had my baby and I was sitting at home. I didn't have any money coming in. And I just watched, my husband leave out and go and spend. And I'm like, oh, what about me? So from that moment, I said, never again in life would I ever. I always have some type of income basically coming in.
Yeah.
So, and I have a 9-to-5 now, but me having my own business really came from, like I said, just having more than one income coming in and having something for myself. It's important that you, if you find something that you like and you can develop it, make it into a business, I think you should go for it, because you're gonna go harder and put in that work for something that you care about and that you like and is relatable to. So that's why I came up with the concept of Precious Picnics, because I love everything luxury. I can't afford everything luxury, but hey, that luxury, that's me. So I was like, okay, let me see how I can develop this into a business. And it's so many amazing people in St. Louis that have their own businesses, and you watch them on social media and they grow and they share, they just sold something or they have an event. Like, that is so encouraging. And I just wanted to just get in on that, find something that I love and turn into a business, basically.
Gotcha.
So that was my goal of starting Precious Picnics.
Gotcha. I love that. And such a unique kind of industry in that we know of event planners around weddings and parties and milestones. You got your 50th, you might call somebody to come in and decorate and all that kind of stuff. But I never known until recently about this picnic space and creating these beautiful intimate spaces for just a small handful of people, right? It could just be for a husband and a wife, or it could, be for a family. So were you always that forgive me for going here, but were you always that Martha Stewart type mom coming up? Because I know my mom was like, my mom right now got a tree branch in a flower pot that is spray painted silver. And when I tell you, it looks so dope. I'm like, who, lady?
Right.
Well, it looks good. So were you always that person when it came to decorating your own home and putting things together and getting to the luxury that you couldn't really afford, but still having that experience of luxury?
Yes. So I like to look at things, just planning like my daughter's graduation party from high school. She graduated going to play volleyball. So I took that idea and like put it into her graduation party. So I had like, you get an example of the spray paint. I spray painted a wine glass, turned it upside down, and made it a centerpiece on the table and put a volleyball on top. And everybody was like, oh my God, that is just so creative. So like putting those things together, I love the details of things and creating things. So that's why I, came with the idea of like, let me do this as a business and just cater to anyone. It doesn't have to be big, but just like if it's just a couple, for you and your spouse, and you want to do it in your home, I can come to your home and complete that setup for you. And I want to make it as luxury as possible and give you that so you can feel good inside your home. You don't have to step out, which became very important during the pandemic as well. People really like stop going out to dinner. So you have to become creative during this time too.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Wow. That's neat. So let me just jump in and ask, because I really do think that is that's such a neat idea. What is I guess so you just said you come into people's homes. What is probably one of the more obscure places, if that's the right word to use, that you've done? One of the places that might have made you say, you want me to go where and do what?
I can say I haven't had, I think the home, some people rent a hotel room and I'll come set up the hotel room. Well, some hotels offer that service where they might come in and put like rose petals around, things like that. But I'm going to come with a little bit more because I want the rose petals and the balloons and the champagne, anything to make it more personal. Like I asked my customer, what is it that you want? What do you envision? And how can how can I bring that to you? So there's not really a weird space. When you think of picnics, you think about in the park. Yeah. So definitely something in the park. I have done picnics in the park as well. Could be a surprise for like a birthday, or if it could just be a girlfriend's brunching, anything like that. Now my goal is to, I haven't set up a proposal yet. That's what I'm waiting on. I can't wait to get that call for a proposal.
Yeah.
Because that's an important time. So I would love to fulfill that for someone. So that's on my list of things to do.
That's nice. Do you work with a caterer? Do you do the food aspect or just the decoration?
I have a few vendors that I work with.
Nice.
Like charcuterie boards.
Yes.
For balloons. I have learned YouTube is my friend. So I have learned to do some balloon arrangements, but I got long nails. I ain't got time for that. So I'd rather have a vendor, work with a vendor for that.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
being able to add those small things like a teepee to a picnic setting, or different, foods or wines, things like that, to make it just fit the occasion, more luxurious is that's my goal.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. You're the vision. You put the vision together.
The vision.
Bring everybody. You make me, you make me think of it. I hope you don't take this out of context. You make me think of the lady she's from St. Louis, but she was in the movie, it was a Madeira movie, but where she played the wedding planner.
Yes.
She's on Blackish. She
Jennifer
plays
Lewis.
mother.
Jennifer
Lewis.
And
so
she said,
the movie is like,
she said, and I give you Charis.
You better come on, girl, and plan these picnics. Paris in the park, okay?
Yes.
That's what, I'm going to go get me a man just so I can get a picnic. That's what's going to happen. Lord, I got a reason to have a man now. I thought it was just to get married, but I need a picnic in the park. Let's make it happen.
And you mentioned I do. You mentioned like having a man, but also it can be just self-love. Do a picnic for yourself. Do a picnic with your girlfriends.
Yes.
I definitely encourage that as too, because it doesn't always have to be, about a relationship, but basically things for yourself. Yes.
Absolutely. That's good. Self-care fits right
Yep.
in. Do I get to keep the whole bottle of wine, or I don't need to get no change back, do I? I will be drunk in the park by myself on a picnic for what? Why, Lord? I should have waited for the man, Lord. No.
Well, with
I'm
the picnic,
excited.
we do give those options up. I have teamed up with also doing photos. My sister takes, she's a photographer. So basically, she'll come in and take photos for you during your picnic.
Awesome.
Those
That's awesome.
Events too. So those are things you can add on to make your picnic more.
Gotcha. I love that, because it creates you're creating the memory, and then you have the option to capture the memory too. So that's super dope. That's super dope. Talk about this like you started your business in the middle of a freaking global pandemic.
Yes.
What was that about? Any apprehension about, this might not be the good time? Did you try to talk yourself out of it, or have people around you trying to talk yourself out of, wait till this pandemic calm down and then go hard?
Yeah. So I would say that during that time when I came up with the idea, I just did a lot of research first and try to figure out how I could make this happen. And then once, so during the time when we were shut down, it was mainly just research and kind of just building the brand basically. But then once things started opening back up, I was able to say, hey, I have this business, and people were more, even if it was a couple where you're in the house with your maid anyway, so we could do something small. People weren't ready to get out and do big things yet. So during that time, just kind of learning and building my brand during the pandemic, like I said, once things opened up, I was able to start booking the picnics. So research, a lot of research basically. And I'm still learning, still watching YouTube videos just to try to figure it out and add more value to the picnics.
Gotcha. Yeah, I got about 40 degrees from YouTube. Like I stay in YouTube University learning something. But that's super dope. Have you thought about making it a family thing? You got the kids involved? Do they do any helping out or any of that kind of stuff yet?
I could say the best child is the oldest one, and she's always down for something. So she would be the one to, if I put a picnic together or if I practice at home, she'll always give her, like, oh, that looks good, do this, or let's go to the store and shop for some things. So she's the one that would help me from the kids. But I can say my husband's pretty helpful as well. He has his little ideas too. So not much so of a family business, but they are good at giving good pointers. Along the way.
Dropping that feedback on you a little bit, like, hey, all right, man, that's super dope, super dope. So tell everybody, in terms of price points, where do you range? Because when I hear luxury, I'm thinking, all right, sugar, let me go drop another product. And then I'm gonna come back, and then we're gonna get one of these luxury picnics. Talk about price ranges and things of that nature. Is it affordable for the average couple, the average individual who wants a little me time set up? Is it affordable? Where do you rate yourself in terms of price?
Sure. So I would say that I am trying to stay affordable, but I also say you get what you pay for. So my basic picnics do start off around $200. So that would get you a setting for two people, the pillows, the decorative things, and then you can add from that. You can add on like a TP, or you can add on games. If you want to play games during your picnic, I supply games. So the more you add on, of course, the price will go up. But the price point is $200. Some things I offer. My newest thing is the bridal before, the bride before she gets married and everybody's in the room getting dressed. I offer a setup, and that setup offers like things like charcuterie boards, fruit or any type of cheese or meat trays, along with that, and then a mimosa bar. So. And I'll come and set everything up, and I'll attend the board. I'll serve the bride and the bridesmaids. So that's my newest add-on. And just depending on how many people and what you want, the price, the price will go up. But I do like to work with people, and I shop for the best deals as possible too.
Gotcha. Oh man, that's amazing. Like, can you imagine wedding day and you just got somebody helping you relieve some of that stress and just keeping the girls. Yeah, man, that's super dope. So real quick, we got to run, but tell everybody how they can connect with you, you know, how they can get in touch with you. Do you have any special promotions or offers, any special events coming up or any of that kind of stuff?
Sure. So I am on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram at Precious Picnics Luxury. And I'm on Facebook as well under Precious Picnics. I am working on my TikTok game. I got a few TikToks out there.
Okay.
All right.
So that's doing good. I like to show the process of the picnics as well. Now, and then for our specials, basically for the next month or so, I am booking picnics with a discount of $25 off the picnic. And also adding an extra something special. So each of my picnics, you will receive a bottle of champagne. So this is my favorite. I don't know if you guys can see this, but Bel Air champagne.
Oh, yes.
It comes with each picnic setting.
Sorry. Almost testified. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I do, that comes with the picnic as well. And then I'm also starting a wine of the month that I will introduce a wine of the month to my followers, because I like to, you know, try different wines and share my thoughts with them of like what you compare that wine with, the different type of wine glasses, things like that that you can add to your everyday life and also to your picnic.
Gotcha. That is absolutely amazing. Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Precious Picnics, luxury picnics for you and your boo, you and your babe, just you and your friends. You know, there's a lot of different ways that you can, you know, bring Precious Picnics into your life. So thank you so much for coming to hang out with us today. This has been amazing. All of our contact information is going to be in the show notes and in the comments. So y'all make sure y'all show some love to our St. Louis entrepreneurs, man, because it is always better to keep the money on Main Street than in Wall Street. So shop with our local businesses, because that money stays local when you shop local. And I'm a huge advocate of that. Any last words before we get out of here?
Okay, I was saying thank you for having me, and I look forward to planning some picnics for the listeners, and let's just keep everyone motivated and all together.
Love it. Chalet?
I was just looking at your page, your TikTok, and some of the things, some of your setups, and I saw the thing, the TikTok said trust the process. I was like, oh, is that the Bel Air again? What? Maybe I'm supposed to be a warrior, but I need Bel Air to get there. I don't know. The Lord might be speaking through you, girl. So. But just I'm excited about your business, because I think this is something that really all people, men, women, etc., can enjoy, you know. And I really do like the part about pampering yourself, because I am that one that go to movies by myself, go to dinner by myself, you know, because it's important. So kudos to you, and I am excited. You might get a phone call from me soon, girl.
Okay.
Love it. Well, we've been listening to and learning from. Say your name one more time, because let me call you Charis this whole time. You let me call you Charis. I'm like,
it's Charis.
I wish some mother lover would start calling me Fernando. No, it is Fernando. Get it right. So Charis,
roll the R.
Thank you for coming to hang out with us again today. Y'all go support her. If you don't do anything else, go like her page on Facebook. Go like her follow her on Instagram. Follow her on TikTok. Precious Picnics. Until we talk to you next time, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up.